Welcome back to my channel. Today it's all about the Bobcat E60, and if you watched my last video, we finished sheeting our little house, and I need to build a roof system for this house, and I work by myself, and this video is definitely for entertainment purposes only. Don't risk, always be safe out there. But today we're going to use the Bobcat E60, and we're going to, because my roof is made out of LVLs, 1 3/4 by 11 7/8 engineered LVLs, and most of them are 32 feet long, and then I'm having one piece fascia board out of the same LVL material that's I think it's around 52 feet long. And I'm going to use the Bobcat excavator kind of as a crane. And yeah, let's get started. We'll build this roof system. I'll show you how I use the Bobcat E50 to do it. And yeah, let's get started.
There he goes, it's a working man. He's trying to make a living any way he can. And he'll break his back for $1 or $2. Oh, there ain't no shame in what he do. Oh, work it out.
Right off the bat, I need to get, so this pile of LVLs is actually quite a ways away from the little house that I'm building. This is where they dropped them. And I'm going to try to take 4 at a time with basically I have an eye bolt on the front of the bucket, and I'm using straps and I'm stretching them apart in the center of this bundle, and basically I'm going to haul them up there with the excavator like that, and I'll show you how I do it. Right here I twist it sideways and strap the end of it to the front blade so it'll stay straight when I'm hauling it. Maneuvering 32 feet around with all these trees is not that easy, so I ended up backing up down this little path. But swinging it, you can see there's trees, quite a bit of trees everywhere, and when you got 32 feet sticking out the front, it's not that easy. And yeah, so here's the 32-footer going up the hill, and yeah, it's a little tricky. Right here I'm checking my my layout, the engineering layout for these LVLs, and then I'm going to pre-cut all 4 of these before I send them up on the roof. And basically I'm going to put the 2 ends up first, 2 doublers, a doubler on each side, and pull a string, and then use that as my my line for all these. Right off the bat, after putting this first LVL up there, I realized my excavator really, even though it's a long reach, E60 long reach, it really wasn't long enough to get these up there the way I wanted. So I was going to have to come up with some solution to get a little more length out of this, out of my excavator for the next one, because this was turning out to be a little harder than I thought to move these around up here. Okay, so because I can't lift those beams high enough to get on the roof, we're going to make an extension, and it's going to be an extra 7 feet. So that should help quite a bit. What we're going to do is temporarily we're going to grind this and weld this on here, and then we're going to use this. We'll take that ball off and we'll use that as our hook on the top, and that should do the trick. Let's get started. I'm only going to weld about a foot of that thing because I don't want to lose too much length. So probably go across here. Actually, we could go. Probably go 10 inches right about there. So right there. Doing good till it got windy. Might have to bring this inside. Okay, we'll do a little welding on the bottom, so let's see if I can lift it up so I can just weld it pretty easy. Alright, that'll make it a lot easier to weld on the bottom. Plenty. Okay. Now we need to put some kind of thing on the end. Now this worked really good for lifting one at a time. The tubing that I used was 3x3, 1/4 inch thick, so it was heavy duty square tubing. So it had no problem lifting one at a time. Where I ran into trouble was when I lifted, when I started lifting, going to get 4 at a time and bringing them up. That's when I actually ended up bending it. But it worked perfect putting up one at a time. And then what I did is when I bent it, I ended up putting another piece on the bottom as a gusset, and then it had no problem carrying the heavy loads the whole way. Right here, these are going to go to the other side, and then I'll be able to pull a string across the front of them. Here's a little shot from the drone, and you can see, as long as I try to balance them in the very middle of the board, I can actually get up there. I can lift them up there, and then I can go around, get on my ladder, and then kind of position them. But it gets harder and harder because at this point, I could only come in from these two sides on the building. I can't come in from the front or the back because I don't have enough reach. So what I do is I go up there, I get it up there, then I get out of the excavator, go up the ladder, move them around, and then they kind of want to slide off the building. So what I do is I kind of put them in place, and then I got better as I went along. I'd put them in place, then I'd clamp them, and then I'd let them loose from the excavator, and see how it started sliding right there. So I kind of had to position it, and then basically put a clamp on it, disconnect it from the excavator, then slide it. So it was quite a job to do this, but it ended up turning out, and yeah. So you can see it wants to slide off the building. It's basically 15 feet on one side and 8 feet on the other. So it wants to go downhill. Yeah, it's a lot of up and down ladders for this little project. Here's a different angle. You can see that I've kind of got halfway on this one side, and basically I kind of got a good rhythm of just lifting them up there, getting them as far over there as I can, and then basically I go up there and grab them and put them into place. Here I'm putting some up from the other side. I basically got halfway from the other side, and it was just getting to be a long ways for me to slide them by hand. So I come back over to this other side and start putting them up over from this side. A little less sliding I have to do. Here I'm installing the outriggers, blocking them and getting them ready for the outside fascia board to attach to. And here comes the outside fascia board. If you're working by yourself, doing this kind of stuff, clamps and straps are really the key to this. So right here you can see I go up, I get the ladder, and first spin this thing around into close position, and then I go up in the corner and go ahead and throw a strap or a clamp on that, and that'll kind of keep it until I can get the other end clamped. You see right there, I get it as close as I can, go up there, and I have one of those quick clamps, and I just clamp it right there, and then basically go to the other end and do the same thing until I can take the excavator off of it. I'm basically using two clamps up on the top. I got a quick clamp that I'm basically holding the fascia board tight to the outlookers, and then I have another pipe clamp that I'm putting up and down to level the outlooker with the top of the fascia board, and that seemed to work really well. And then I just go through and nail them. These will also get hangers on them, top flange hangers that'll go on top of the fascia board and connect to the outlooker. Now this one was a real challenge. This one is 52 feet long, and I didn't get all the filming of me doing it because I had trouble getting it up there. But I did get this front piece on a lot easier than the back piece. And you can see right here, I do the same thing. I get it in position, I line it up with the two outside ones, and I go through and clamp and nail it. And yeah, it's just repetition. You kind of get a rhythm going. You clamp, two clamps and nail it, move on. Two clamps, nail it, move on. And yeah, it seemed to go pretty good once you get it up there. But that's a big piece. That's 52 feet long. Now this back one gave me a lot of trouble. It's a little higher off the ground, and I really had a lot of trouble getting this one up there. For some reason, it just, you know, some things will just fight you. And I think I probably spent 3 hours just getting this one up into place. And yeah, it was quite a challenge to get, you know, it's 52 feet long. It just wasn't going like I wanted. But I did end up getting it up there, and I ended up using 8 pipe clamps and 4 straps to get this thing in position to where I could flip the face onto the outlookers and get it nailed on there. And I don't believe I got all the video of this whole thing, because at some point I gave up on shooting video and just wanted to get this thing on there. But this piece was definitely the most challenging of all of them. I don't really know why. I think it had to do with the way it was a little higher, and for some reason I don't think it was balanced properly. Even though, you know, I had it measured in the center of everything, it just didn't. It seemed to just be a lot tougher. Right there, you can see I'm trying to get it into place, and yeah, it was a little bit of a struggle on this one. Okay, I'm up here on my roof, and here comes a little cackle of turkeys going up the hill. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Like 6 of them. Gobble, gobble. Gobble, gobble. There's 3 more right there. Going up the hill. Thanks for watching this episode of Outlaw Woodworking. You know, I couldn't have done this project. Oh, I gotta scratch it there. I couldn't have done this project without the Bobcat E60. Yeah, it's a strong machine. It's made my life super easy. This Bobcat E60 is a year old, and I'd have to give it a thumbs up. It's done so much so far. It's probably already paid for itself for me in a year. Never had any problem with it. It's been a great machine. The new inside controls work really well. The heated and air conditioned cab is really nice. Anyway, thanks very much for watching, and I will see you next time. Later.
There he goes, it's a working man.